But you know what's also true, my brothers? Is we all understand when we've done more than the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. All of us agree that yes, anything more than Rasulullah is extreme. Well, I have news for you today. We always fail to mention the opposite side of the scale. Because the truth is, anything less than the Prophet is also extreme. But no one talks about that. That it's okay for me to be clean shaven. It's okay for me to not pray. It's okay, and everyone, I'm not a practicing Muslim. No, in truth, you're an extremist. Because he was the balance. He was the middle way. Anything more or less is extreme. You can't just sit there and point your fingers at these guys with their beards and say they are and they're not. No, because he sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if you choose to be a Muslim, and let me assure you, no one is forced to be a Muslim. Can we make this clear tonight? No one is forced to be a Muslim. Islam is a choice that you and I make. I choose to be a Muslim. When I wake up in Deen, I choose to follow Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam because I am convinced beyond all doubt that this is haqq, full haqq. It's the complete truth. So therefore I choose to follow Islam. None of you is forced. People come to, what's the Islamic perspective on this and hang on. No one is forced to be a Muslim. No one. It's not my job to justify anything in my religion. Is it true you Muslims do this and is it true you Muslims do that? I don't need to justify anything to anyone. That's not my job. He is the balance, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Anything more, but also anything less is extremism if you choose to be a Muslim. And that's the problem, is that today we've allowed our deen to be what you and I think. That this is what I think Islam is. And this is what I think Islam is. And no, you know what? I think Islam should be more like this and should be more like that. Hang on. Hang on. The greatest prophet, accompanied with the greatest ummah, followed by the greatest 2 generations to come after them, followed by 1400 years of scholars who gave their lives for this deen. Now all of a sudden, all of this is pushed aside and Islam has come down to what you and I think? Really? People come to me all the time. Brother, what's your opinion on this? My opinion? Excuse the French, who the hell am I to have an opinion? 1400 years of ulama. Now, someone has a bit of a following on Facebook. Someone, mashallah, maybe he's gifted in speech. All of a sudden he feels that his opinion on the matter is important. Well, I have news for you. It doesn't matter what you think. Our religion has been perfected and completed. What matters to us is what the Prophet of Allah said and taught and did and approved. That's what matters to us. His opinion matters. And those Sahaba that followed him because they understood deen the most, that's what's important to you and I. Today, my brothers, our deen has become thoughts, this, that and the other. And it's destroying us. It's destroying us. Have you heard this concept? Look, by Allah, I'm not attacking anyone, but there is some frustration because of what's happening around the world, and there is pressure, and I understand. There is pressure, and Muslims are faced with, to be honest, things that we don't know how to deal with. So what ends up happening is we end up selling our deen short. Muslims are falling all over themselves, trying to make their deen something that it isn't. Twisting and turning things, trying to make it more appealing, trying to make it more pleasing to non-Muslims. Well, I have news for you. That's not my job and that's not your job. My job is not to make anyone love or accept Islam. My job is more purely to live my deen and present it in the best form possible. You accept, you like, is none of my business. You cannot guide anyone. Allah guides. Allah guides, not you and I. Muslims all over coming up with things and theories on their deen, trying to make Islam so pink and rosy. Well, yes, I understand you mean well, but what you're not realizing is you're actually destroying things. You're making things worse. You're not making it better. Have you heard this? Muslims, even Muslims do this now. Islam means peace. Does anyone here disagree? This is what we've been taught, that Islam means peace. Where did you get that from? Who said that? Now forgive me, by no means am I saying that Islam is a hateful religion. No, Islam is definitely a peaceful religion. I agree. But Islam doesn't mean peace. People with any opportunity, oh, please, no one stress. Islam means peace. We are not. Hang on. Islam doesn't mean peace. Islam means submission. Don't sugarcoat things. Islam means submission. To who? To what? To Allah and His Prophet. And those that submit, they're called Muslims. And the more that they submit to Allah and His Prophet, these people will find peace in their lives. But Islam doesn't mean peace. So stop trying to make it something it's not. Islam means submission. But you find that we're falling all over ourselves, trying to make our religion something it's... Yes, I agree. Islam is most certainly a peaceful religion. Islam is not about war. Islam is not about hatred. And it is most certainly not about killing people. I find it embarrassing that we even need to say that. We feel forced to condemn. Stand. Why do I have to condemn anything for? I'm not guilty. I didn't pick up a gun or a knife or harm anyone. Why do I have to condemn that for? Why am I being forced and bullied and intimidated in my own land, in my own country? Why am I being attacked? Why do I need to condemn it for? What did I do? A crime is a crime. You know, it's sad. This is basics. Sometimes I feel like Captain Obvious when I mention these things. Duh, a crime is a crime. And anyone who commits a crime, be a Muslim or not, they let the law deal with him.